Thank you guys for all sending your questions for the Q&A, and I decided to make an executive decision here on the Chase Oliver channel. Now, I realize that a lot of you guys like the Q&As, and I really want to try to get the Q&A videos to be a little bit shorter, and I want to be able to answer the questions when they feel like they're in the right time, because I always feel like, you know, someone will ask me a question about a certain topic, and then I'm like, well, this feels kind of dated because the event happened on Monday Night Raw, so I decided to move the Q&A as well. Like, I'm going to be doing 2 Q&As, so we're still going to get the Tuesday Q&As, but we're also going to get Thursday Q&As. Yes, we're going to do Tuesday and Thursday. I don't expect the first Thursday Q&A to get a lot of questions asked for it, but I'm just giving you guys a heads up now. Not only will there be Tuesday edition of Q&As, but we are also going to be doing the Thursday Q&As as well. So I hope you guys appreciate and enjoy that. I just figured, you know, I limit you guys to asking 2 questions every week anyway, so might as well ask your 2 questions on Tuesday, ask your 2 questions on Thursday. Different topics could be spawned from these 2 questions, so that's why I would like to do a Tuesday and Thursday Q&A. So hope you guys enjoy that executive move made by me. So hope you guys like it. Anyways, let's get started with the Q&A. At John Cena is a tool on Twitter asks, if you had to make a team of 4 WWE superstars today to face TNA, who would you choose? Oh, that's easy. Randy Orton, John Cena, Triple H, and Batista. I'm going to send Evolution and John Cena over there, as other people would call them, the Breakfast Club. They would just dominate every TNA jobber. Be amazing. Michael Schultz asks, why do you, I am Mike Schultz asks, why do you like Bo Dallas? He is funny as hell, but I'm not a fan. I like Bo Dallas because I find him rather entertaining. He's more of a character than most WWE superstars. I think that's why I like him. I mean, obviously, you know, I like him and Chase Bolivar likes him, so I just like him. I just find him funny. I don't know why. There's no real reason to it. I think when I was rewatching NXT, he was one of the guys that stood out to me just because he was so goofy. Like, I think it was Sami Zayn was in a promo with him. He was like, these people are not cheering you, Bo. They're booing you. And the fans booed. And Bo was just standing there, like, with a stupid smile, like, they love me. Like, what? I just like this guy because he's very arrogant. And I'm one of those people that like the arrogant heels, the arrogant characters in general, the goofy characters. You know, so that's why I like Bo Dallas. That's why I'm a fan of him. And he also asked, who is going to be a bigger star, Seth Rollins or Dean Ambrose? Oh, Dean Ambrose. I like Seth and all, but Dean is definitely star written all over him. I mean, come on. How can you deny Dean Ambrose that stardom? Dean Ambrose is a future star for the WWE. That's for damn sure. Will Ferrell, number 1, asks, do you like Byron Saxton, Tom Phillips, and William Regal on NXT commentary? They're all right. They're no dream commentary team of mine. I like Tom Phillips. I don't think he's really that good. I don't know if he's the future voice of the WWE, but he's all right. Byron Saxton, he tends to go on random little tirades. And also I can't tell sometimes if Byron Saxton's supposed to be an annoying heel or if he's supposed to be a babyface commentator. He doesn't really make his allegiance known. Regal does a really good job at telling us what moves these people are doing and what they call them. At least Regal puts over the wrestlers, you know, finishing moves and signature moves. So that's what I like about Regal. They're an all right commentary team, but not the best commentary team. And do you watch Ring of Honor and other indie wrestling? Yes, I do from time to time. Not the biggest fan of indie wrestling, but I'll watch it from time to time. If I can catch it on demand and I have a spare 3 hours to do, sure, I'll go check it out. Uzumaki Nation asked the question, and oh my god, I cannot click on the thing right now. All right. Who do you like better, Arnold Schwarzenegger or Sylvester Stallone? Easy. Sylvester Stallone. He made Rocky. I like Arnold, but Sylvester Stallone, Sly, he's my man. Do you like Spock and Lieutenant Commander Data from Star Trek and Star Trek The Next Generation? Not really the biggest Trekkie in the world, so I haven't seen Star Trek The Next Generation. Sorry, my dog was licking. I didn't know what he was doing. So, in all honesty, I can't really answer that question. Sorry, bud. Sorry if I make you upset that I'm not a real Trekkie. I know this is like a symbol for high, I think. That's all I can really say, but yeah. Facepalm Cake 20, I think that's how you say his name. Facepalm Pancakes? Facepalm Pancakes 20 asks, he has a joke first. What did John Cena say to his teacher when he got a C on his report card? You can't see me? He wrote that joke. I was laughing when I read it last night, but I don't know how that turned out on the video. His first question is, though, do you think there will be any shockers in the NBA draft? Yeah, I don't know if you're asking for good shockers or bad shockers or just state shockers. But I think there's going to be some shockers in the draft. I think Joel Embiid will still go a lot higher than a lot of people have him. I can see Cleveland with that #1 overall pick taking someone completely random like an Aaron Gordon, and don't say no, they will have to take Parker or Wiggins because this is fucking Cleveland. They have done dumb stuff in the draft. They are one of the worst draft teams. The only person they got right was LeBron James, and I think the only reason why they drafted LeBron James was because the motherfucker lived in Ohio. That's just the bottom line. Cleveland's a terrible drafting team. They are. I know, don't say, oh, what about Kyrie, Chase? Until Kyrie plays 70-plus games, call me. Because Kyrie cannot stay healthy, and Dion Waiters is a selfish prick. Oh, yeah, how did Tristan Thompson work out for you? And Anthony Bennett, yeah, he's fat. Just saying. Cleveland's a terrible drafting team. And does the Shield need a third member, maybe a CM Punk or NXT guy? Shield's over, man. I'm sorry. Sorry to break your feelings there, buddy. Q&A. Mega Spinnernet 2 asks, what is your favorite pay-per-view from every year from 2000 and favorite WWE champion, US champion, and tag team champ as well? All right, Mega Spinnernet 2. I know you probably want me to answer this question. I am not going to answer the part of my favorite champions from every year. Because most of the time, there will be repeat champions, and there's no damn point for me to do that. I'll tell you my favorite champions of all time that I like. Favorite WWE champion of all time, Triple H. Favorite IC champion of all time, Chris Jericho. US, Eddie Guerrero. Tag team, the Dudley Boys. I'm not going to go year by year because once 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012 hit, it's mostly just going to be Kofi Kingston for the IC title, and I don't think you want to hear me repeat myself. But I will give you every favorite pay-per-view from the year 2000 on. Judgment Day 2000 or 2001, I like WrestleMania 17. That's one of my favorites. Not my overall favorite WrestleMania ever, but one of my favorites for sure. And also, whichever one Kurt Angle won the title. I want to say it's No Mercy 2001, but I have a feeling it's Unforgiven 2001. For 2002, SummerSlam 2002, 2003, SummerSlam 2003, 2004, WrestleMania 20, 2005, WrestleMania 21, 2006, Unforgiven 06. I really like that one. Hell in a Cell. TLC match between Cena and Edge. 2007. 2007 is a weird year. It's not really that good pay-per-views. Backlash. I'll say Backlash. Backlash is a really good pay-per-view from 2007. 2008. Trying to think for 2008. You know, see, once you hit 2008, like, not really good pay-per-views. 2008. I'll just go 24. WrestleMania 24. That would have to be my favorite. Just going through my mind of all the pay-per-views. 2009, fuck 2009, Royal Rumble 09. 2010 would have to be probably WrestleMania 26. 2011, Money in the Bank 2011. 2012, WrestleMania 28? That happened, right? 2012? Yeah, WrestleMania 28 in 2012. And then 2013, SummerSlam 2013. 2014, as of right now, my favorite pay-per-view would have to be WrestleMania 30. I mean, it's not saying much, but that would probably be my favorite pay-per-view from each year. But yeah, I hope I answered the question correctly. As far as, you know, the champions go, like I said, once it gets to the year 2008, you're just going to hear Kofi Kingston's name regardless. So just being honest with you, man, I just did not feel like going like, oh my God, like really I have to name champions from every year. I think the U.S. title was not brought up to the WWE until 2003. So yeah, that wouldn't be fun, man. Red Wolf 316 asks, have you ever watched Batman the Animated Series? Of course. Yes, it was a great TV show. Part of my Saturday morning cartoon watching. And also asked, what did you think of that Jobber Gilbert? It was a good parody gimmick. You know, it was good making fun of Goldberg as a lightweight. It wasn't like he was one of my favorites, but he did good for what he needed to do. So, yeah, I like Gilbert a lot. Joe Juicy asks, what did you think? Who do you think is a better rapper? John Cena, the Doctor of Thugonomics, or Lil Wayne? Shit, man. John Cena is so much better than Lil Wayne. It's not even an argument. I don't give a fuck what any one of y'all say. Lil Wayne is not that good. Like, lick it like a lollipop. So what? He has catchy beats to fucking saying words. That's what rap is today. Give me a catchy ass beat, and I can just say crap, and all of a sudden it'll be considered good rap. That's rap nowadays. I hope you guys understand that. It's terrible. It's terrible, man. It's just sad what happened to the music industry, but I think John Cena is better than Lil Wayne. That's just my opinion, but it is what it is. The Gochi Man asked, have you ever watched Disney Channel? Of course. I mean, what little kid my age never watched Disney Channel? Come on. I'm 21 years old. I'm not that old, people. I'm only 21. You know, I did watch Disney Channel when I was 9 to 10 years old. Of course, I watched Disney Channel. Why not? The Gochi Man asked, what did you think TNA could have done to make Aces and Eights a more dominant faction from the start? Easy. Reveal some of the members early on. I'm not saying reveal Devon Dudley right away, but you could have revealed like Luke Gallows and Mike Knox, especially Luke Gallows, who had, you know, pretty much a good following just because CM Punk loved him. So you would think like, oh, you know, people like this guy because of CM Punk and what he did in the Straight Edge Society. Let's just keep him underneath the mask. You know, that could have helped if you just revealed these guys right from the start. I mean, surprises in professional wrestling, they normally suck. Let's just face it. Like when someone's like, oh, we got a big surprise for you, you get disappointed a lot. A lot of times you get disappointed in professional wrestling when they come to surprises. But in general, you know, they can work, but you have to keep it quiet. And the problem is with the internet and dirt sheets nowadays, you can't keep shit quiet. People knew who were under the mask in the first place. Like, people were like, oh, it's Mike Knox. Oh, it's Luke Gallows. I think Cassidy Riley was at one point underneath the mask. You could have just revealed these guys from the start, and I think it would have been a lot better for the Aces and Eights as a faction. So I think to make Aces and Eights more dominant from the start, reveal some of these people, have them kick ass, establish the Doc character, establish the Nux character. Don't establish these guys when these motherfuckers have been in the company for 6 months already. Establish them when they have no mask. Make these guys look dominant. Make them protect Devon as long as they can before Devon gets unmasked. That way you can make Nux and Doc look somewhat legit, and Cassidy Riley as well. I think that's the problem with TNA is they didn't unmask these motherfuckers when they had the chance. Final Limits asked a question. What if Chuck Palumbo had his biker gimmick that he had in 2007/08 back in 2002-2003 when Undertaker still had his American Badass gimmick? How would that feud between the two? Would it have been a good feud with the bikers? No, it would have been terrible because Chuck Palumbo sucks if he's not a metrosexual male, and that's no offense to Chuck Palumbo, it's just the truth. I think we would have seen like a biker chain match. Whoopee! I don't think it would have been a good feud, man. And it's nothing against Chuck Palumbo. I just think Undertaker would just own him in every category. The matches I don't think would be very entertaining whatsoever. And unless you're like some redneck who rides your motorcycle as well, I think that's the only way the feud would be somewhat entertaining. That's just my personal opinion. I like when, like, you know, it doesn't sound exciting. Yes, these guys are two bikers, but that's like saying, oh, what if I brought LAX to face Hunico and Camacho? Like, yeah, so what? It's two Mexican wrestlers, but, you know, LAX was way more badass than Hunico and Camacho. You don't want to see LAX lose to Hunico and Camacho, and you know, knowing Taker, he would probably give Chuck Palumbo a win, because that's how Taker is. He puts over younger talent all the time, so... No, man, I'm sorry. I just probably wouldn't be interested in it. I don't think it would be a good feud either. Like I said, I think there would be a lot of bike references that no one would get. Taker putting over Chuck Palumbo, and then a terrible biker chain match to end the feud. And then you ask the question, do you ever eat a snack or dinner or lunch while watching TV or on the computer for entertainment? Yes, I eat dinner, lunch, snacks while watching TV. For computer, no. I like to keep it clean. Don't want to get any junk on it. But yes, I do eat snacks when I'm watching TV. Hope I answered your question there, buddy. Bubble gum flavored steroids asked, have you ever been bitten by ants and how much does it suck? It sucks, man. Like, I remember one time I was playing with these ants, these red ants, man. Red ants hurt the most. And the queen ant, she noticed I was fucking with her kingdom. So she just came out of nowhere and started stinging me, man. I remember I was running for 20 minutes away from that queen ant. Fucking hurt as hell, dude. But yeah, ants fucking suck. Dude, do not think these things are friendly, man. Especially those red ants. They will bite you and they will hurt. I had bug bites for the longest time because of that queen ant. What would you do if you found a dead body in your backyard? I think go to Q&A number 32. Someone asked something similar. And I think I went with option C, taking his wallet. I don't know. I think Q&A number 32 has it. It's either 32 or 31. Can't remember. But someone did ask that question. So go watch that previous Q&A, buddy. Shorora Hora asked, do you think Oksana was released because of punishment for injuring the black chick's eye, Naomi? No. I think she was just released because they had to make budget cuts. And she was probably already on the short end of the list anyways. It wasn't like she was improving in the ring. I think the reason why she probably kept her job for as long as she did because JBL had a crush on her, and you could tell he did. So I don't think injuring Naomi was like a big concern for them. If you watch Total Divas, they were like, even on Total Divas, they were like, oh yeah, it was a total accident inside of the ring. So they didn't really seem too upset with her. So in all honesty, and the Divas were still working with her and on the live events. So in all honesty, I don't think injuring Naomi's eye was one of the main reasons why Oksana got released. Such a shame that it wasn't, but I think it was just more budget cuts for the WWE. And his second question is, how come John Pipical stopped sending you questions? Do you know the reason? From what Final Limits told me on the Facebook, he said that John Pipical hates me because I'm censoring his First Amendment rights. Whatever. It's not going to hurt my feelings that I don't get the Lexman questions, so it is what it is. Lino Gino asks, did you know that Eric Escobar was supposed to steal Eddie's gimmick by doing the frog splash and coming out in lowriders, but WWE canceled it and Vicky was going to manage him through this? No, I did not know that, but I'm glad that they canceled it. God, Eric Escobar trying to be Eddie Guerrero, that'd be garbage, man. I'm sorry. That'd just be terrible. What did you think about Ricky Ortiz from ECW, that guy with the afro and towel? Never got into him. I don't know what he's doing now in professional wrestling, but I never got into Ricky Ortiz. I think it was more or less that Ricky Ortiz was under the influence of, ECW transforming from Extreme Championship Wrestling to that watered-down WWE ECW crap that they were having on TV. So it was like kind of like Ricky Ortiz never got that chance to, shine on his own level. I didn't find him that entertaining because I was expecting more hardcore wrestling. I mean, his name was the Latin Assassin. I didn't feel like he fit that gimmick whatsoever. I believe he was the Latin Assassin. Correct me if I was wrong about that. But I didn't feel like he fit the gimmick whatsoever. I don't know what he's doing now. If someone wants to tell me where he's wrestling at, that'd be cool. I'm just curious. Like, I probably will Wikipedia this anyways afterwards, Ricky Ortiz, to see what he's up to. But yeah, I never got into him, man. Lona Lois, what do you think about Samuel Shaw? I like Samuel Shaw because he's different. Like, that's the thing about TNA that they can do differently from WWE is because WWE, they can't do a gimmick like Samuel Shaw. I mean, Samuel Shaw, who's like a stalker gimmick, who's kind of creepy, kind of crazy, type of deal. WWE can't do that because it's a PG product. They don't want to show parents and children a stalker trying to like cut off Diva's hair. Samuel Shaw was great. It was great television because it was a different character. I mean, if you remember Samuel Shaw in the beginning, when he first showed up to TNA, he was wearing jean shorts. He had random tattoos. I was like, God damn, John Cena, Randy Orton, Batista had a love child, and it was Samuel Shaw. But he started coming out with these black clothing, kind of looking creepy. And I said, you know what, man? I'm digging this Samuel Shaw because he's different than what I'm seeing in professional wrestling today. So in all honesty, I think that, he's a good character. I'm interested to see what TNA will do with him in the future. I don't expect them to do anything with him, but I would like to see him come back and be more crazy towards Mr. Anderson. I think that would work out well for him. Loner Low asked, what if WWE gave Cena the same gimmick of Alicia Fox, but only difference is he's a babyface? Fans would still boo him. He would just look like an idiot on TV. It'll be more entertaining than what John Cena is doing now, but fans would still boo him just because it's John Cena. At this point, it's really hard to say how they can make fans cheer John Cena. I think the only way fans would really cheer for John Cena if he was just a total a-hole prick and he just told people that he was going to win every match. I think that's the only way people would respect John Cena as a professional wrestler on promo-wise. But giving him Alicia Fox's gimmick, I don't think would help him whatsoever. What if WWE gave a wrestler a drug addict gimmick? Would it get over or not? I think it would have the potentially of getting over because you would think, with Breaking Bad being such a popular show that it is, that people are now just watching it. Yeah, believe it or not, people are still like catching up on Breaking Bad. It's ridiculous how popular that show has become. I'm not saying that it's bad that it's popular. I'm just saying it's like that's how big this show is. Like people are still starting season 1. Like right now, as I'm talking, there's probably some motherfucker out there in the world watching Breaking Bad season 1 right now. Watching like episode 1 right now of Breaking Bad. You would think, a drug addict gimmick or at least something involving like a Breaking Bad would be interesting as hell for the WWE audience. I think it could get over, especially if you look at TNA, what they did with AJ Styles. Remember, AJ Styles used to be the cocky, brash, guy. You know, he was simply phenomenal. No one could stop him. And then he came back and he was an alcoholic. I don't know if you watched TNA, Nintendo Fanboy, but that's what AJ Styles came back as an alcoholic, and he got over with the crowd in TNA. And in fact, I think a lot of people started to support AJ Styles more when he was this grungy alcoholic gimmick. I think a lot of people like AJ Styles a little bit more than they used to. So in all honesty, yeah, if you gave someone a drug addict gimmick and you made it work, and I don't want it to be too extreme, like, you know, where, you know, he's just like always smoking coke and all that other crap. But if you gave him where they, like, you know, he makes it and he deals it and, you know, all this other crap, I think it would be interesting. I think it would be an interesting character to have. You know, knowing WWE, they would probably give it to a black guy because they think black guys are, you know, addicted to drugs. But in all honesty, I think the WWE could do something edgy like that, and it would be kind of interesting. It depends on the execution, but I think it would do well. I really do think it would do well, especially with, like I said, with Breaking Bad being such a popular show. Why not take something from there? Do you think WWE would have ever give a wrestler a white supremacist gimmick? So, if so, would it be good or bad? Um, no. As much as Vince is a racist, I don't think he would go that far. I think it'd be terrible for the product. Would it bring some mainstream publicity? Yeah. I mean, people would be talking about it, but, you know, people will always say there's no such thing as bad publicity as long as you're getting eyes on the product. And yes, that is true, but, you know, for the white people and the white supremacy group, they have done so many terrible things in the past, and you know, it's just really hard for you to really say, like, yeah, put a guy in a KKK hood and tell him to go wrestle. I mean, that would not be good for that superstar. And I feel like the superstar, whoever got that gimmick, it would just hurt their career for a long term. So I don't think it would work out, man. It's just too much damage that the KKK has done over the past years for it to work out. John Kunt, one of my faves, asked the question, do you think the Usos are overrated? That's a good question. Do I think they're over? No. I think I can see where you're coming from, where you're thinking that maybe fans overrate them a little bit. They're not as good as Delivered. That's for damn sure. I noticed Jay and Jimmy, they're getting fatter and fatter. They just keep getting fat, fat, fat. And they like eating their food. You know, in all honesty, I see potential in them to be a good tag team. They're never going to be single stars. I do not want to hear anyone say, like, oh, Jimmy and Jay will be single stars. The day that happens, I fucking Jay Uso is going to be wearing fur coats, and Jimmy and Jimmy Uso would just be some random dude, man. I'm just saying right now that it just wouldn't be good if they became single stars. Overrated overall, like, you know, of the potential that people see in them. Yes, I can totally agree with that. But when it comes down to as a tag team, I think they're just fine. And what if WWE had Cena come out as the Knight Rider under a mask with a different theme, but still wearing jeans down, doing the AA and the Super Cena comeback, but just as the Knight Rider, kind of how TNA does with Hardy as Willow? I think it'd be cool, like, not because it's John Cena, but just because it would be like Knight Rider, like, fucking A, Knight Rider is a popular character in the 90s, be kind of like Throwback Thursday type of deal. You know, you have Cena come down with a motorcycle, and, like, you know, you can have the motorcycles talk to him, and, you know, a lot of people would hate it just because it is John Cena. It'd be interesting to see how John Cena pulls that off. I don't think it would go too successful, because look at how Willow's going for TNA. People still consider him Jeff Hardy. And I think with the whole thing, like, it would be cool for, like, the first 3 weeks we get to see Knight Rider, but then afterwards we would just get bored with it and we wouldn't care. That's just my opinion, but I would like to see Knight Rider. That would be kind of cool. Maybe give it to Kofi Kingston. That'd be awesome. Jake Loomis asked a question, and he's wrapping up the Tuesday edition of the Q&As. Why does the IWC bash the big man wrestlers, but mainly support the midgets? Are they living in a world where every indie guy must be a main eventer? For the most part, yes and no. I think the thing is, a lot of wrestling fans are not muscle marks, as I like to call them, because they just feel like they can't go in the ring, they can't wrestle in the ring, and that, you know, the smaller guys, they can wrestle because they can do the flips and the kicks and the doodads, all that other stuff. And in all honesty here, I like variety in my performers. I like some indie guys, like some smaller guys, and I also like some bigger guys. So I like my variety in performers. Some people just like seeing, you know, the Dolph Zigglers and the Daniel Bryans of the world, and some people just like seeing the Roman Reigns and the Batistas and the John Cenas of the world. I like a ton of variety. I think the IWC just appreciates the guys that, you know, pretty much basically killed themselves in the middle of the ring. If you look at a lot of old ROHs and all these other old shows, like these guys that, you know, take all these bumps and selling and looking like heroes doing all these no-selling crap, you know, a lot of people look at them as workhorses and say, you know what, that guy deserves better. So I think that's why a lot of the IWC supports, you know, the midgets, because they do, you know, put their bodies more on the line than the bigger wrestlers. You know, bigger wrestlers, they probably have like simple 2 to 3 moves, and they don't think that's wrestling. They think the guy that's like killing himself in the middle of the ring is wrestling, and they have more of appreciation for that guy. That could just be my opinion why they support the midget wrestlers. You may have to ask someone that is more fluent with why they support guys like Davey Richards, Eddie Edwards, and the list can go on of independent wrestlers that, you know, wrestle really, really crazy matches. I think the main reason why is because they see this guy, they support this guy, they say this guy's risking his life for us to put on 5-star classics every single time. Maybe that's why they like the midgets more than the big wrestlers. Thank you guys very much for the Q&As. Send in questions for the Thursday edition of the Q&A. Same format as the Tuesday one. Description box down below for all the details. Trying to shorten up my videos a little bit here. Let's hope the separation of the Q&As can do that, so that way I can go more in depth and I'll have more time to answer certain questions that I normally don't have time to answer. Once again, thank you guys very, very much. I'll see you all on Thursday for another Q&A.